So, good afternoon, everyone. Today we'll be presenting about an individualized education plan, specifically focusing on supporting students with language disorder here in our local context, Baguio City. Before anything else, let me start with the simple questions. How many of you have encountered students that seem bright and capable but struggles on expressing themselves and understanding complex instructions? Today, we'll explore how we can better support these learners through a structured, systematic approach. Okay, so let's learn about the learner's profile so that we can better understand the student. Let me introduce to you Mary Jane Velasquez, a 9-year-old grade 4 student from Irisan Elementary School here in Baguio. Her profile demonstrates how we identify and understand students with language disorders. Personal information. Lives with both parents in Irisan, Baguio City, eldest of 2. Speaks Filipino at home and learning English in school. Enjoys drawing, singing, and playing, specifically with her younger brother. Identified strengths. So let me read her identified strengths. Strong visual spatial skills and artistic abilities. Good mathematical computation skills. Motivated and eager to participate in classroom activities. Demonstrate good social skills with classmates. Shows persistence when working on preferred task. Excellence attendance record. So this is her areas of need. Let me read it again. Receptive language, difficulty understanding complex instructions in both Filipino and English. Limited vocabulary and difficulty expressing thoughts clearly. Struggles with subject-specific vocabulary across all subjects. Difficulty understanding grade-level texts. Challenges in organizing thoughts and writing. So, why this profile matters? Understanding both strengths and challenges helps build us on what Mary Jane does well while addressing her specific needs. Notice how her visual spatial skills and artistic abilities can become tools for language learning. Mary Jane is not lacking intelligence. Her brain simply processes language differently, and she needs different teaching approaches to succeed.
Now that we reviewed Mary Jane's learner profile, let's take a closer look at her present levels of performance based on current assessments and classroom observations. In terms of academic performance, Mary Jane is currently performing below grade level in both her Filipino and English subjects. She struggles with reading comprehension and written expression, mainly due to challenges with academic vocabulary. Based on the Philippine Informal Reading Inventory, her reading level is equivalent to grade 2, and her vocabulary age is at about 7 years old. She also needs frequent repetition and clear instructions across all subjects. Now, looking at her behavioral performance, Mary Jane generally demonstrates appropriate classroom behavior. She consistently follows school rules and shows respect to both peers and teachers. Moving on to social performance, she enjoys collaborative activities and is able to form good friendships with her classmates. However, when faced with academic challenges, she sometimes withdraws. As for her emotional performance, she usually has a positive attitude in school. That said, she occasionally shows frustrations when she finds it difficult to express her thoughts. With adult guidance, she is able to manage these emotions appropriately and shows resilience when facing challenges. Now let's move on into her annual goals and short-term objectives. The first goal focuses on receptive language development. By March 2026, Mary Jane is expected to demonstrate understanding of grade-appropriate vocabulary with 80% accuracy across multiple sessions. In the first quarter, She will work on identifying 20 basic academic vocabulary words with a target of 70% accuracy. In the second quarter, she'll be learning 30 Tier 2 vocabulary words, aiming for 75%. By the third quarter, she should be able to use context clues to determine word meanings with an 80% target. Next is expressive language development. This goal aims to help Mary Jane form complete sentences with correct grammar and vocabulary. In the first quarter, she will focus on producing simple sentences using correct subject verb agreement, aiming for 75% accuracy. For the second quarter, she'll practice combining sentences using conjunctions, targeting 80%. By the third quarter, she will apply descriptive vocabulary in her oral presentations, also with an 80% success criteria. Now, moving on to her third goal, academic language comprehension. The objective here is for Mary Jane to comprehend grade level texts and answer both literal and inferential questions with 75% accuracy across multiple sessions. In the first quarter, she will identify main ideas in short paragraphs with a goal of 70%. In the second quarter, she'll answer literal comprehension questions with 75% accuracy. In the third quarter, she'll practice making simple inferences from the text, also with a 75% target. To help her reach these goals, we now go to her specialized instruction and support services. Mary Jane receives individual speech-language therapy 1 to 2 times per week for 30 minutes. She also joins group language activities once a week, which lasts around 20 minutes. In addition, she receives daily collaborative teaching support for about 50 minutes in the regular classroom. These services are all provided by a special education teacher or trained support staff, usually within the resource room or a quiet area. There is also an option for external consultation with a speech-language pathologist, either quarterly or as needed to review her progress or refine strategies. In terms of intervention strategies, her program includes the use of visual schedules, vocabulary building with visual aids, language modeling, peer buddy systems, and even educational apps when devices are available to support vocabulary growth. Finally, for her calendar integration, she attends individual support sessions every Monday and Wednesday. She joins group language activities every Tuesday. She receives daily support during language-heavy subjects. She has weekly monitoring sessions to track her progress.
Building on Mary Jane's strengths and addressing her identified needs, this section outlines specific changes to teaching methods and assessment procedures that allow her to demonstrate her abilities despite her language challenges. These accommodations fall into three key areas: instructional strategies, assessment modifications, and scheduling adjustments. To support Mary Jane's learning in the classroom, we implement six core instructional accommodations. First, simplified language for instructions. We break down complex directions into smaller, manageable steps across all subjects. Students with language disorders become overwhelmed by multi-step instructions, so simplifying language reduces cognitive load and allows focus on learning content. Visual supports and graphic organizers. Pictures, charts, and diagrams are used throughout all subjects. This is particularly effective for Mary Jane because her visual spatial strengths compensate for language weaknesses, creating a bridge between her strong visual processing and language heavy content. Extended time. Mary Jane receives 50% additional time for assignments across all subjects. Students with language disorders need extra time to process linguistic information. This extension allows her to understand instructions and express knowledge without time pressure. Preferential seating. Mary Jane sits near the teacher and away from distractions. This ensures she can hear instructions clearly and receive immediate clarification while reducing distractions that interfere with language processing. Chunking information. Content is broken into small, manageable parts. This prevents Mary Jane from being overwhelmed and allows better processing and retention of information. Peer assistance. Study buddies are assigned for clarification. Peers often explain concepts in simpler language that students with language disorders find easier to understand. Moving from instruction to assessment, we also modify how Mary Jane demonstrates her learning through 5 key assessment accommodations. First, extended time. Time and a half is provided for all written assessments, ensuring results reflect Mary Jane's knowledge rather than her processing speed. Simplified language. Test questions are reworded for clarity, so complex formats don't obscure what students actually know. Oral administration. Test questions are read aloud when appropriate, supporting receptive language challenges and allowing clarification. Visual supports. Vocabulary cards and picture cues are provided during assessments, offering alternative ways to access information. Lastly, alternative formats. Multiple choice questions replace essay responses when appropriate, reducing expressive language demands while allowing demonstration of understanding. Beyond instructional and assessment accommodations, we strategically organize Mary Jane's daily schedule to maximize her learning potential throughout the day. Language-heavy subjects like Filipino and English are scheduled in the morning when she's most alert, as students with language disorders experience cognitive fatigue more quickly. Complex academic subjects are scheduled mid-morning, while afternoon activities focus on hands-on and creative subjects that align with her strengths. Regular breaks between challenging tasks prevent fatigue and maintain optimal performance. With accommodations in place, we now turn to how we systematically track Mary Jane's progress using various assessment methods. This diversity of assessment approaches ensures we capture a complete picture of her language development and can make informed decisions about instruction. Our progress monitoring system employs 5 complementary assessment approaches. First is the portfolio assessment. Conducted monthly, collecting Mary Jane's works include vocabulary logs and written activities. This shows growth over time and provides concrete evidence of developing language skills. Performance tasks. Implemented bi-weekly, using structured speaking and reading activities like retelling stories and describing pictures. These assess Mary Jane's ability to use language in real-world contexts. Reading comprehension checks. Weekly guided reading sessions with comprehension questions track progress toward academic language goals and provide immediate feedback about intervention effectiveness. Checklist and observation records. Daily and weekly observations capture language use in natural settings, providing information about skill generalization. Informal language assessment. Quarterly assessments using vocabulary quizzes and screening tools provide systematic checkpoints for evaluating progress toward annual goals. Using multiple assessment methods ensure we capture all aspects of Mary Jane's language development. Multiple data sources increase reliability, while performance tasks and observations show real-world language use. Regular monitoring allows timely adjustments to intervention strategies before Mary Jane falls further behind. Having established our assessment strategies, we now examine how we systematically review Mary Jane's progress and make data-driven decisions about her educational program. This structured review process ensures accountability and continuous improvement through regular evaluation cycles. Our monitoring system operates on 5 different timelines, each serving a specific purpose. Weekly reviews, conducted by classroom and special education teachers, focusing on observations and monitoring language use. This frequent monitoring catches problems early and allows quick adjustments. Monthly reviews involves special education teacher, guidance counselor, and parents, reviewing portfolio samples and analyzing language probe results. This provides enough time to see patterns while allowing timely adjustments. Quarterly reviews. Every 3 months, the complete IEP team conducts formal review of objectives, team discussions on progress, and assessment of goals. These align with school reporting periods and provide systematic checkpoints. Biannual reviews. Mid-year and end-of-year comprehensive reviews by the complete IEP team update goals, services, and supports as necessary. Lastly, as needed reviews can be convened for immediate review if regression or sudden progress is observed, ensuring appropriate support at all times. Based on the data collected through our review schedule, we make systematic decision about Mary Jane's program using clear criteria. Continue when progress is satisfactory, 80% or higher success rate, indicating current interventions are effective. Modify when progress is slow, 60 to 79% success rate, adjusting approaches or timelines. Intensify when minimal progress occurs, below 60% success rate, increasing service frequency or modifying goals. Discontinue when goals are mastered consistently across settings, showing generalization of skills. To ensure our entire system is working, we measure effectiveness through multiple indicators. The IEP is considered effective when Mary Jane achieves 80% of short-term objectives each quarter, shows measurable improvement in standardized assessment, demonstrates increased classroom participation, and when parents report improved home communication. Teachers observing skill generalization across subjects represents the true test of intervention effectiveness. Through strategic accommodations, comprehensive assessment, and systematic monitoring, Mary Jane's IEP creates a supportive framework that addresses her language disorder while building on her visual spatial strengths. This collaborative approach ensures she receives the individualized support needed to succeed academically and develop the communication skills essential for her future growth and participation in all aspects of life.